welcome back to another tarot-inspired yoga class. We are entering week 4 of this January Tarot Yoga Challenge. So congrats, pat yourself on the back for making it this far. We are in the final stretch, and with a new week comes a new theme for the week. And this week our theme is what's going to bring us on home and finish this challenge. So our theme of this week is discipline. Now, they say it takes 21 days to cement a habit in your life, and we've made it over that benchmark. 21 days of doing yoga 3 times a week, maybe 5 if you did some extra classes here and there. So we are working on leaning on that habit during the times when things aren't so easy. Maybe you get busy, you get distracted. It's a lot easier to keep going with your goals and your dreams and this tarot yoga challenge when you've taken the time for 3 whole weeks to consistently show up for yourself, show up for your yoga practice. And so we're going to lean on that when times get tough, and just remember that this yoga practice is always going to be there for you through thick and thin. So I haven't mentioned the tarot card for today. Today's tarot card is the Two of Pentacles. So the Two of Pentacles is here to remind you how important cementing your habits are in your daily life. Every week showing up for your yoga, showing up for your goals and your dreams. So take a moment to just appreciate all the hard work you've done, because no matter what your goals are for this year or this month, it's a big challenge to make changes in your life. So take a moment, pat yourself on the back, and just know that you have put in the work and you can make it to this finish line. It's so close. The end of the month is coming, so nothing left to do but keep on keeping on with our habits, especially our yoga practice. So today is going to be a nice, fun, and funky flow to get us energized and ready for this new week. The only props you will need today will be for our warm-up, so 2 blocks and a strap if you've got one. If you don't have a strap, you can always use a blanket, a scarf, even a t-shirt, anything that's long enough you can hold it by both ends. So let's start off in our warm-up with a couple of blocks and seated in a wide-legged forward fold. Doesn't have to be the widest forward fold you've ever done. We're just trying to warm up our hips and our hamstrings to get ready for our flow. I will say maybe get set up a little farther away from the wall, away from things around you, because we are going to maybe move off the mat here and there and kind of roll around a little bit and have some fun. So for our wide-legged forward fold, you can just work on if your hamstrings are super tight, especially behind the knees. You can always keep a bend in them and just place your fingertips behind the hips and lean back. If this feels like enough for you today, perfect. Stay right there. If this is feeling good and you want a little bit more, here's where our blocks can come in to help us. I like to set up my blocks with on the shortest height and then stack the second one on the tallest height. So think about hinging from the hips here. So instead of rounding in our back, try to keep your back nice and tall, spine nice and tall, and just fold forward. Maybe sway side to side. See how that feels. And if you can reach your blocks with your forehead, if that feels accessible today, you can just lay your forehead right on top of that nice tall block. And we'll just stay here for a moment, just feeling the pose in our hamstrings, in our hips. Again, feel free to move around in your poses. If a static hold is just not enough for you today, always feel free to move around a little bit and get comfortable in your pose. Take a few deep breaths wherever you are, settling your mind, Settling into the practice today, into your hips. Like I said, we're getting funky and fun today in our flow. Moving all around our mat, even off our mat. When you're ready, slowly lift the head off the blocks and place your blocks off to the side, maybe at the top of your mat in case you want to use them later in our flow. And then grab your strap, meet me down on the mat. We'll lay it all the way down and just do some extra hamstring stuff. So left foot can be planted or you can extend the leg on the mat, totally up to you. We're going to wrap the strap or scarf, whatever you got, around the ball of the right foot and extend the right foot up to the sky. Holding onto the strap or scarf on both sides. And just see how it feels to pull gently on your strap and pull the right leg closer to the body. See where your hamstrings are today. Just gently work on opening them. You can think about drawing the right foot out towards the right a little bit. Sometimes opening up the hip just slightly can give you a little bit more flexibility. Open up the hip all the way and draw the right leg out to the side. Get some hip opening in. And then cross the right leg over towards the left. Keep the right hip planted as much as you can. Working on stretching the outside edge of the right leg here. So we're not going into a full twist and lifting the right hip up off the mat. Just stretching through the outside of the right leg. And lift back up to center. Draw the right leg back towards the face. And then bend through the right knee. And we'll do the other side. So wrap the strap around the ball of the left foot and extend the left foot up to the sky. Right knee can be bent or straightened for a little bit more. And just play with drawing the left leg towards the torso, left foot towards the face. Nice and gentle, nothing too crazy. Just letting those hamstrings know they're going to stretch and work today. Maybe draw the leg to the outside, to the left of the torso. Opening the hips slightly, get a little bit more flexibility there. Moving nice and slow. Open the hip up towards the left. Keep drawing that left foot up. Lift the left leg up and over towards the right, keeping the right hip planted. And notice my left leg can't go towards the right quite as much, but I can still feel a stretch on the outside edge of my left leg. Very subtle movements here. And left leg back to the sky. Draw the leg towards the face. Don't forget to breathe. And bend through the left knee. Move your strap out of the way. We won't be using that anymore. Keep your blocks accessible. You may want to use them during our flow. From here, we're just going to roll up to a stand. So, rolling on the back body a few times, back and forward, gaining some momentum. And when you feel ready, roll back, roll forward, land on the feet, And meet me in a standing forward fold at the top of the mat, in a ragdoll position. Feet a little bit wider than hips with distance. Maybe grab opposite elbows, sway side to side. Feel free to keep a nice bend in both knees here. Compress the torso to the thighs. Plant the hands, bend the knees, and sweep the arms up overhead. Press the palms together, and exhale, arms by the sides. Beautiful. We're going to get right into it. We'll move nice and slow so you can get used to the flow, and then we'll go through it, as always, a second time, a little bit faster with our breath. So, starting in Tadasana, top of the mat, moving nice and slow on the right side. Inhale, sweep the arms up, press the palms together. Exhale, hinge at the hips and fold forward over the legs. Inhale, lift up halfway, lengthen forward. Exhale, plant the hands and step back, downward facing dog. Beautiful. Feel free to pedal out the feet for a moment. First downward facing dog of the day. Maybe sway the hips side to side. And settle into a still downward facing dog. We're going to move through a different sort of Vinyasa today. So lower down to the knees, down to tabletop. Moving through cat and cow. So inhale, arch the back, gaze forward. Exhale, round the back, puff the back of the heart up. From here, we're just going to wave down to the belly. Wave with the spine all the way down, forehead on the mat. Widen out the feet nice and wide, mats with distance. And get up onto your fingertips. We call this spider fingers. Both elbows facing up towards the ceiling. Draw the shoulder blades together. Press the pelvis into the mat. Inhale, press up with the fingertips. Wave up to your back bend. Exhale, wave down. Plant the hands along the low ribs. Feet a little bit closer together. Inhale. Exhale, press up, all the way up to a downward facing dog. Meeting in downward dog, a little bit of a different wavy sort of vinyasa. From here, we're moving towards our fancy one-legged side plank. So if you haven't seen this before, go ahead and take a pause and watch me. We're going to inhale, right foot up. Bend through the right knee and open the hips up towards the right. Do what you got to do to plant the left foot on the mat. Maybe lift up onto right fingertips, right knee up towards the sky. And once you're balanced, lift the right arm to meet, pressing out of the left shoulder. Inhale here. Exhale, kick the right foot out. Plant the right hand and step forward to a lizard type lunge. So go ahead and meet me here if you haven't yet. This may be a moment where you might use your blocks, so I will demonstrate. Placing blocks under each hand, probably on the lowest setting or the second setting, one of those two. And what we're going to do is from our lunge, inhale, gaze forward. Lift up onto the ball of the left foot as high as it will go. Exhale, extend through the right leg. Lift the right toes so we're up onto the right heel. In a high stance pyramid pose. Inhale, bend through the right knee, gaze forward. Exhale, straighten through the right leg. Right toes up. High stance pyramid pose. Exhale, lower back down to a lunge. Now, from here, we're going to lift up to our pyramid. We're going to plug the right hip into the hip socket as much as we can so that we can drag the right foot back to meet in downward facing dog. Don't need your blocks anymore, so move them off to the side. The blocks just give you an extra lift to help
drag that right foot back. So from our downward dog, we're going to lift the right foot again, opening up to our flip dog. So lower the right foot behind you, open up the chest towards the right. Coming back towards center, draw the knee in towards chest, step forward, back to our lunge. Open up towards the right, opening towards the right in our lunge. From here, drag the right foot back, right toes pointing towards the long side of your mat. Lower the left hip all the way down and right arm down. Beautiful. From here, we're going to keep twisting to face towards the back of our mat. Now, as you can see, we're in kind of a figure four position with the right leg on top, right knee bent, left leg outstretched. Keep twisting. Move your box out of the way. Left hand on the right knee, right hand behind you, and twist towards the right. So we just twist it all the way as far as we can go. Sitting down on the mat. Take a breather here in your twist. From here, face towards the back of your mat. Plant both hands behind you. Lift both legs. Bend the left knee. And lower down to fire log pose. So as you can see, my right knee stacked over my left foot stepped over, right foot stacked over the left knee. So if this feels too intense, you can always go for a more of a figure four or just keep it extended. Totally up to you. I like the fire log pose. You can stay here with the chest lifted, spine nice and long. If this feels good, maybe bow forward over both legs. This can be a super intense hip stretch, so feel free to stop at any of those points or just focus on the figure four. Make the practice your own. Lift the torso. And we're going to uncross the legs and kick them forward for boat pose. So hands underneath the knees. You can keep the knees bent like so, or extend them all the way out. Keep the spine nice and long here. We're balancing on the tailbone. Inhale. From here, trust yourself. We're going to lean forward, lower the legs down, and bow forward in a forward fold, grabbing to the outsides of the feet or on the shins, wherever you can reach. And bow over the legs. Doesn't have to be the most intense forward fold you've ever done. Inhale, lift up. From here, bend into the left knee. The left foot, sole of the foot on the inside of the right thigh. Scooch the right foot forward, so the right hip is a little bit more forward than the left. We're doing kind of a side bend here, so stretch the arm down the leg. You can stay on the ankle or again grab the foot. Twist the chest open towards the left and reach the left arm up and over. You don't have to grab all the way to the toes here. Just focus on keeping the shoulders open towards the left. Nice folding side bend. Inhale, lift back up. We're still facing towards the left. Left knee is still bent. Plant the left hand on the mat. Lean into the left shin and press the hips up for a supported version of side plank. Pressing the hips forward. Nice side bend towards the left. From here, we're going to lean all our weight into the left hand and the left shin. Lift the right foot up, swing it around and forward, landing in our lunge position facing the front of the mat. Beautiful. Send the hips back, straighten through the right leg. Sing the hips all the way down on the left heel and bow. Lift back up, crawl the hands forward, tuck the left toes, lift up into lunge, and step the right foot back, meeting in downward facing dog. All right, let's move through our spinal wavy vinyasa. Lower down to the knees. Inhale, arch the back, gaze forward. Exhale, round. Wave the spine all the way down to the mat. Lower the forehead. Spider fingers to the outsides of the mat. Elbows facing up. Feet nice and wide. Press the pelvis into the mat. Inhale, wave up. Exhale, wave down. Plant the hands at the low ribs. Press the tops of the feet into the mat. And press all the way up to downward facing dog. All right, we are ready to move on to the other side. So, moving to our fancy one-legged side plank. Inhale, sweep the left foot up. Bend through the left knee and open towards the left. Do what you gotta do to plant the right foot down on the mat. Lift up onto left fingertips. Draw the left knee up. And maybe lift the left hand up towards the sky. Press the right hand into the mat. Lift the left knee. Kick the left foot out. Lower the fingertips. And in a lizard-like pose. Again, you may want to grab your blocks for our little pyramid hip plug section. Feel free to grab those. From our lunge here, inhale, look forward. Exhale, lean back, straighten through the left leg, and draw the left toes up towards the sky. Stay up high on the ball of the right foot, and lower back down. Gaze forward. Inhale. Exhale, pyramid pose. Lift the left toe, straighten through the left leg. Lift up onto the ball of the back foot, and bend back into lunge. All right, this is the one where we're gonna scoot the left foot all the way back to a one-legged downward dog. So inhale to a lunge. Exhale, pyramid pose, toes point up. Lift up onto the back ball of the foot. Press the hands into the mat. Drag the left foot back to downward facing dog. Move your blocks out of the way. Inhale, lift the left foot up. For flip dog, tap the left toes behind you and reach the left arm up and overhead. Open the chest. Lower the left hand, left knee towards center, and step forward to a lunge. Beautiful. Open up towards the left, left arm towards the sky. Scoot the left foot back, toes pointing towards the long side of the mat. And lower the right hip down. Lower the left hand. Readjust your clothes. Keep turning, facing the back of the mat in a figure four type position with the left leg on top, left knee is bent. Keep twisting towards the left. Right hand on left knee, left hand behind you. Twisting gently towards the left. Take a breather in your twist. Beautiful. Turning towards the back of your mat once again. Lean back on the hands. Lift the feet. Bend through the right knee. And lower to fire log pose. So left leg is still on top. Right leg is bent beneath. Again, you can keep the right leg straight if you want. You can bend the knee and plant the foot. Totally up to you and what your body is calling for today. So, in our fire log pose, lift the spine up nice and tall. Stay here if this is feeling good, or bow forward over the legs. Inhale, lift back up, lean back on the hands, straighten through the legs for boat pose. So, knees bent or straightened. Keep the spine nice and long. Try not to round for boat pose. And then we'll lean forward and land in seated forward fold. So it's kind of a thump a little bit. We'll try to control it as much as we can, but trust your legs to catch you. And then just fold forward. Beautiful. Lifting up out of the pose. Bend through the right knee. Sole the right foot towards the left inner thigh. Scooch the left foot forward so the left hip is a little bit more forward than the right. And we're going to do our side bend. So sink the hand down towards the foot. Reach the right arm up and over. Working on opening the shoulders up towards the right. Don't worry about how far the right hand can reach. And focus more on the side bend and keeping the chest nice and open here. Lift up out of the pose, still facing towards the right. We're going to plant the right hand down, lean into the right shin, and press the hips forward and up. Reach the left arm up overhead, supported side plank. Right shin down. Lean all the weight into the right hand and the right shin. Lift the left foot, swing it around and forward, landing in our lunge position. Beautiful. Sink the hips back, straighten through the left leg, and bow. Crawl the hands forward. Plant the hands, tuck the right toes, lift up to a lunge, and step the left foot back to downward facing dog. Moving through our wavy vinyasa again. Lower the knees. Inhale, arch. Exhale, round and wave all the way down to the mat. Forehead down, feet nice and wide. Spider fingers. Inhale, press up. Exhale, lower down. Plant the hands at the low ribs. Press the tops of the feet into the mat. And press up to downward facing dog. Beautiful. Gaze forward at the hands. Bend the knees. Step or hop forward, forward fold. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, sweep it all the way up. Press the palms together. And exhale, arms by the sides. Tadasana. Great job, everyone. Reset your props if you've got them. Shake it all off. I know that was a lot of twisting, a lot of turning, a lot of facing different directions, getting off our mat. But that is what progress is all about, doing stuff out of our comfort zone, staying disciplined, and knowing that you have the solid foundation to get you where you need to go. So listen to your instincts. I'll walk you through it, but this time just a little bit faster to kind of flow with the breath a little bit more now that we've gotten used to it. So one more time on each side. So grab a drink of water if you need one. Shake it out. And meet me in Tadasana at the top of the mat. Inhale, sweep the arms up, press the palms together. Exhale, hinge at the hips, fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, plant the hands, step back, downward dog. Lower the knees. Inhale, arch. Exhale, round and wave down to the mat. Spider fingers. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Hands at low ribs. Plant the toes. Press up, downward facing dog. Moving to our fancy side plank. Inhale, right foot up. Turn towards the right. Open the hips. Reach the right arm up. Fancy side plank. Kick the right foot out. And step forward to our lizard lunge. Grab your blocks if you'd like them, or do it without. Inhale, low lunge. Exhale, pyramid. And lower to lunge. Inhale. Exhale, pyramid. Up on the ball of the back foot. Lower to lunge. Inhale. Exhale, pyramid. Plug the hip. Press into the hands and draw it back. Right foot up and back. Flip dog. Right toes behind. Open it up. Lower the right hand, right knee to chest, step forward. Open lunge towards the right. Scooch the right foot back, lower the hips, keep turning and twist in our figure 4 position. Come back to center, lift the legs for fire log, maybe bow. Inhale, lift. Here we go, boat pose. Lean forward and boop, seated forward fold. Inhale, lift, bend the left knee, scooch the right foot forward, side bend, facing towards the left, open the chest. Inhale, lift, plant the left hand, lift the hips, supported side plank. Lift the right foot, swing it around and forward to our lunge. Lean back, hamstring stretch. Move forward, tuck the left toes, step back, downward facing dog. Lower the knees, inhale, arch. Exhale, round and wave down to the mat. Spider fingers. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Plant the hands, press up and back. Downward facing dog, left side. Here we go. Left foot up and back. Fancy one-legged side plank. Lift the left arm. Kick out. Step forward to our lunge. Grab your blocks if you want them. Inhale, lunge. Exhale, pyramid. Plant the foot. Inhale, lunge. Exhale, pyramid. Up on the ball, the back foot. Inhale, lunge. Here we go. Exhale, up on the ball. Draw the left foot back. Lift it all the way up. Left toes behind you. Open to flip dog. Plant the left hand. Knee towards nose. Step forward. Open twist towards the left. Draw the left foot back. Lower the right hip. Keep turning. Figure 4 legs. Twist to the left. Inhale. Exhale back to center. Lift and bend. Fire log pose. Maybe bow. Inhale, lift. Boat pose. Nice long spine. Lean forward. Boop. Landing in our seated forward fold. Inhale, lift. Bend through the right knee. Scooch the left foot forward. Side bend. Open the chest. Inhale, lift. Plant the right foot. Exhale, lift the hips. Supported side plank. Lift the left foot. Swing it around and forward for our lunge. Inhale. Exhale, sink it back for hamstring stretch. Crawl the hands forward. Tuck the right toes, step back, downward facing dog. One last wavy vinyasa. Lower the knees. Inhale, arch. Exhale, round and wave down to the mat. Spider fingers. Inhale, press up. Exhale, lower down. Plant the hands. Inhale. Exhale, press up and back, downward facing dog. Gaze forward at the hands. Bend the knees. Step or hop forward, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep the arms up, press the palms together. And exhale, arms by the sides, Tadasana. Great job, everyone. I know that one was a lot of work, so I think we have deserved a cool down. So let's go ahead and do that. Sit down on the mat. We're just gonna meet in butterfly pose. Soles of the feet together, knees out wide. Don't worry too much about if the knees sit down on the mat or not. Maybe just flutter the legs like the wings of a butterfly. Press the soles of the feet together. Sit up nice and tall. Take a few deep breaths here in your butterfly. Listening to your heartbeat. Feeling the warmth you've created in your body. All that hard work comes to fruition at the end of this month. Press the soles of the feet together. Sit up nice and tall. Inhale. And exhale, send the feet out wide. Wide-legged forward fold. Maybe sway side to side. Beautiful. Grab the backs of the knees, bend and lift. And go ahead and grab one of your blocks and lay down on the mat here. One more cool down pose before our final Shavasana. Supported bridge. I think our low backs could use a little bit of love here. So both knees are bent, feet are planted on the mat. You can keep your block at the low setting or the second highest setting, totally up to you. Press into the feet, lift the hips up into bridge pose, and then just slide your block on whatever setting you would like. Place it underneath the sacrum. Feel free to scooch around a little bit, find the right spot. Let the hips rest on the block. Your arms can be by your sides. Don't have to be super engaged here. We just want to sink the weight of the hips into the block. You can even move side to side. Press one hip into the block and then the other. Find what feels good in your supported bridge. Maybe extend one leg out, see how that feels. Bend the right knee, pull it in. Stretching through the front of the left hip flexor here. If you point the left toes and draw them away from the right knee and your right knee away from your left toes. Plant the left foot and the right. Extend the right leg out and the left knee in for the other side. So point through the right toes, draw them away from the left knee, draw the left knee away from the right toes. Get a nice stretch in the front of the right hip flexor. And plant the right foot, plant the left foot. Press into both feet, lift the hips up off the block, and slide the block out of the way. And we're ready for our final resting pose, Shavasana. So any kind of positioning you'd like. If you'd like to do some constructive rest here by bending both knees and letting the knees knock in towards center, feel free to do that. Or stretch out the legs long like our typical Vinyasa. This positioning gives your lower back a little bit of a break. Did a little bit of back bending today, so it might feel good. Wherever you are, just close your eyes. Hands on the body, or let them flop out to the sides. No muscular engagement here. For our final resting pose of Shavasana. Let the mind settle. Stay here in your Shavasana for as long as you like today. I want to thank you for joining me today for another tarot-inspired yoga class. I look forward to more classes this week with you. So thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next time.